live for the heck of it because I'm outside. So I'll wait for some folks to jump on here. Hopefully YouTube will let you know. Look at this view. Surfer needs to get out and get a little walk in, and there's not a better place than the beach trail. It's the best place to go. And because I got to hold this thing, you get a little workout in it too. All right, well, while I wait for hopefully someone to find this live stream, what I wanted to do is talk a little bit briefly today about personal finance. I know a lot of you are stackers that are watching this channel, and so most of you have started to invest in silver or in gold, with a lot of us, buying smaller coins. Good evening, how's it going? Hey Magnum, welcome to the stream. Yeah, go ahead guys and hit that thumbs up if you can. That'll notify people of this, and hopefully more people will see it. Hey Seymour. One of my friends was saying, hey Surfer, you're gonna go live today? And I thought, well, I've kind of got a busy day, but I need to get out and walk a little bit. So I'm here on this awesome beach trail. There's not a better place to come and go for a little walk. So hopefully I don't make you guys too sick. Hopefully this gimbal keeps it relatively smooth. But what I wanted to talk today about is a little bit about personal finances, and then we'll get to some questions you guys have. We'll just kind of have this be a fun ad hoc live stream tonight. Weather looks great there, you guys. It does. I actually have prescription glasses on, so I can't actually read unless I pull them up a little bit. So I'm going to be doing that throughout this a little bit. Weather is great here, guys. We're at about, let me check real quick. I think it was 82 degrees last time I looked. It's gone down a little bit to 75. Just up the hill here are these awesome houses on the cliff. So if you've got $8 million bucks, you can go buy one of those. And then you've got this awesome ocean here and these train tracks. So you can actually ride the train from San Diego up here to San Clemente, and you can ride it down from LA to here. And you can take it up to an Angels game, which is kind of fun. It's the, I think it's a surf rider or surf liner or something like that. We'll probably see one as we're going through this here. But I'd love to hear from you guys what's up on your mind too, and if any of you took advantage of any of the silver, getting thunderstorms in AZ right now, that's crazy. If any of you guys took advantage of those silver deals that I put out yesterday and then today. So we had one that was, I think, 99 cents over spot, and then we had another deal that was at spot, which is pretty cool. From me here in California, it's a little tricky because I've got to spend $2,000 now instead of $1,500. It's gone up in order to be exempt from the sales tax. And the sales tax can eat that up real quick. So for me, even the spot deal still puts silver at about $27, almost $28, which is kind of a bummer. So I have to deal with that. Uh-oh, I think I forgot to put on Don't Disturb here. Just a second, guys. All right. Got that fixed. So what I want to talk about is personal finances a little bit, and getting yourself right, and what are some good strategies there. So a couple things. As each of us are looking at investing in gold and silver, we all have an opportunity to decide what our allocation is. We have an opportunity to take money, put it in the bank. You can buy coins with it. You can pay debt off. My philosophy on personal finances comes down to the following. First, you got to get some income. Without income, you don't have any finances. As you're working on your income and you're getting the job, or you're starting your own business, which I think is awesome too, a lot of times I will create what I call the side hustle. So this channel to me is a side hustle. Right now it's costing me a little bit more money than, well, it's costing me money right now, but it eventually will break even, and then it'll start to produce income for me. And that extra income is going to allow me to have freedom to do more things. It allows me to have write-offs. It allows me to get out and see you guys more. I mean, right now, one thing that's really cool is I can write off my parking for coming down to the beach here. And I also have the opportunity to get cool gadgets like what I'm using here for this gimbal. In addition to that, I'm hoping it'll allow me to travel a little bit more too. So you guys saw my video with live stream with Yankee and Drew Brophy. One of the things Drew's been able to do that's really awesome is having a career of painting surfboards. He's able to go out and surf a lot more than I am able to, and he's able to go to a lot of great locations. Sometimes people are bringing him along with him. Other times he's just meeting up with friends. And being your own boss gives you a lot more freedom. I'm not my own boss right now. I work for a company, and so I've got to work so many hours during the day, and I get so many vacation days. So Yankee, are you on here? One thing I'll point out on that is we did get the skateboard drawing came up. Hey Yankee. And that actually did really well on Instagram. I think Drew got like almost 6,000 views on that. So hopefully, Yankee, that gave you a good shout out there too for your channel. I don't know how much Instagram you do, but that looked like a pretty good shout out for everybody. So personal finances, one thing that I want to bring up is you got to have income. A lot of times when you're feeling the tight crunch of finances personally, a lot of times it's an income problem that you have, not necessarily a budgeting problem. There's only so much you can budget. Things are expensive. You have to have housing, you got to eat, and most of us need transportation of some kind. And then we start having other expenses with kids that we run into. So a lot of times you have a revenue issue. Well, one of the best things you can do about revenue is invest in yourself, is the first thing that I always like to recommend doing. And that does not mean a college education, but it can. I have had the privilege of getting an associate's degree, followed up with a bachelor's degree and then a master's. And I had the ability to be able to do that without having to get into a bunch of debt, which I am very grateful for. And for others, maybe that's not the pathway you go down. You may end up going into a vocational school, or you may just go into a trade right out of high school, which is fine. And for many people I know that have done that, they've actually started great businesses. They make more money than I do. And they've got their own business, and they've got a little bit more freedom, which is great too. But you got to get that income coming in. For those of you that might be in a boat like me where my income has come down a little bit last year and to this year and really won't start to bump up again until next year, I need to find some extra ways of making money. And so one of them I'm working on is this YouTube channel. I'm working on a few other business ideas right now too. And you know, it sometimes takes money to make money, but other times all it takes is some hard work and time and an idea. So I encourage all of you guys to go out and do those things to generate extra income, which then allows you to do more things like stacking gold and silver. And one thing I do want to put out there is I think it's important to do everything in moderation. If you put all of your money in silver, you have no cash in the bank, you can run yourself very easily into a situation where a car breaks or you have a flood in your house and you need money. And you're going to have to go sell silver, and it might be when silver is not an opportune time to sell it. Silver has high premiums, so we need our silver to go up over time so that we can justify selling it. And oh, here we go. Here's the train. I don't know if you can hear me while that's going. Okay, so I think it's important to have an allocation of different things. So one is I like to have a good chunk of cash in the bank. For me right now, because of the issue going on with the banks, I'm only keeping about 30 days of operating cash in the bank. But I think it's good to have about 3 months of cash around. Some people like 6 months, but I'd say at least 3. For me, the rest of it can go into metals. I'm okay if I need to sell them if there's an emergency and take a little bit of a loss on them, because in the long run, I do know they're going to go up in value. So that's maybe the first thing I would advise you guys on is making sure you have some liquidity, and especially as you're stacking. The second thing I'll tell you is it's important to do things like a debt snowball, where if you have credit card debt, you have a car loan or a home loan, I think it's important to pay those things off. Many people will tell you to leverage to the hilt. What I will tell you is both my in-laws and my parents had paid off homes in 2008, and both of them got severely challenged financially with businesses that got hit really hard. And had they not had their homes paid off, they would have lost them. They didn't have their cars paid off, they would have lost them. So if you have the means to pay things off, I think it's always good to secure a foundation for you with the home and with your cars, and then leverage when you're looking at business. So you can leverage yourself if you're a plumber and you need to get a truck for your business and you've got the cash flow to justify it, go ahead and get a truck. Use other people's money. When it comes to your personal finances, it's best to try to pull back from that a little bit. And Daniel mentioned here too, be a lifelong learner. I think that's huge. That's a big thing for me. So I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And, I don't waste my time with just pop culture stuff. I shouldn't say waste. I use my time to do a lot of education and learning. So number one is invest in yourself. Number two is have some liquidity so that you can either buy dips, take care of yourself if you get into a sticky emergency type situation. Number three is I think you should be stacking, but I think you should do it responsibly. So I like to set a goal of how much I want to stack for the year, divide that out by months and then sometimes by weeks. And I like to do what's called dollar cost averaging. So that's one of the big things that I try to do. For me, being in California where we have high sales tax, almost 8% for gold and silver, purchases under $2,000, I find other methods to where I can purchase silver and gold, and I don't necessarily have to pay that. And one of those is using YouTube. Other times that's trading with other people that have precious metals that I've made friends with. But I do look at that. And other times what I'll do is I'll work with a friend and we'll pull money together and we'll buy. Other times I wait and kind of accumulate it in $2,000 tranches so that I don't have to pay the sales tax and I don't have to pay the shipping. But I do think it's important to also reallocate on a regular basis. So right now I'm in a reallocation phase. I'm slowly selling some of my silver that I paid a little bit more money for so I can take a loss because I'm looking to take a loss. And I'm also wanting to move out of some of that and get my equations a little bit more balanced. But let me stop talking for a second here and see if I can pull up some of the comments, see if you guys have any questions here. So I'm going to take these off so I can read it a little bit better. Yeah, it used to be higher, Craig, that's for sure. Financial success coach, welcome. Money myth, it takes money to make money. No, it takes creating value for others. That is totally true. And I'll give you guys some examples of that here in just a second too. Would you video in a coin show near you and show stuff and prices at the show? Yeah, I would totally do that. I missed my last coin show. I didn't have my equipment, but we did do a little video. You guys can see that up from the Long Beach show. Yankee Stacking has been in the house, guys, so shout out to him. He's a great supporter of the channel. Emergency funds are very important too. And let's see who else we got on here. Magnum, Damien, welcome. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, as we're talking about that, it does not take money to make money all the time, but it does help you do it faster. But I will tell you, if you have too much money and you're trying to make money out of it, sometimes it's a huge hindrance for you. So one of the things that I think is important to look at is we live in an information age now. It's possible for $35 to set up a Shopify site. It's possible to find companies that will allow you to buy their product or to drop ship, and you can set that up. You can also do it on Amazon. One thing I have done that didn't take very much money, and you could do it with a credit card. You be careful with that. And as always, this is not financial advice. It's just some ideas I've done. But a few years back, I was living in Utah, and they have this awesome hot chocolate mix that I just love. It's called Stevens Hot Chocolate. And they come in 1 pound containers. And these containers were normally going for about, I want to say $7. And they had them on sale for a while, down to $2 per container. And I was able to pick up shopping carts full of these containers for $2. And I set up an Amazon store. And I sent these in for FBA, so fulfillment by Amazon. And so if you guys ever buy anything on Prime, you're getting it from FBA, people that have put their products in there. So it's in an Amazon warehouse. I don't have to ship out to a whole bunch of people. I just need to ship a couple boxes to Amazon, which is great. Well, anyway, it turns out that this product cannot be purchased in a lot of cities and states on the West Coast. It's mostly in the Intermountain area. We don't even have it here in California. And I was selling them for $52 a piece to people in Manhattan, New York. And I sold out of them in about 30 days, 2 full shopping carts worth. And I went back and I got more. And I've come to learn that if you have an LLC, you can set up a wholesale license, and you can actually forego the sales tax when you're buying it from like Walmart, which is where I was getting them. And then you charge the sales tax when it actually gets sold. So, hey Craig, how's it going? So really, I was able to make a pretty decent profit off of it just through what's called arbitrage. So in a sense, I did not need money to make money. If you had a credit card, you could have bought those and then, paid off your credit card very quickly once the money came back in, and then not even use your credit card and just take the profits from it and keep rolling it in. So you'll find a lot of channels that are out there on YouTube and on Instagram where people are going to Burlington Coat Factory, to Walmart, and they're looking for products that they can resell on Amazon. So it is a side business, guys. So, if your goal is to add a couple ounces of silver a month, it's not that hard to go start a side business and pull in an extra couple $100s to do that goal. If you're trying to replace your income and you're looking for thousands of dollars, it's a different story. But that's one of the things I want to point out there with personal finances is a lot of times it is a revenue problem, not necessarily a budgeting problem. What I try to think about, and my wife is better at this than even I am, is not focusing on what I don't have or how expensive something might be that I'm having to deal with, like a new furnace or something like that. It's focusing on the abundance of what's coming to you. So a lot of times it's thinking of not worrying about the budget. You put a budget in place and follow it, but then forget about it. But focus on what you're looking for, what you're wanting to go for. What are your goals? And so we've got goals of wanting to be able to go to Italy with our family. Okay, let's set that goal. How much is it going to cost? Let's work towards that. Do we have funding for it? Do we need to get extra money for it? And we'll set those goals, and we try to have a concept of abundance. You guys have maybe heard of the law of attraction. That's something we try to do a lot in our house. And even more so, we've been kind of following this idea of the law of assumption, which is you assume that you already have it, and you're just going to catch up with it in time soon. And so it's just a matter of time. And to me, these principles are also found in the Bible, and they're found in a lot of different cultures and religions. It's going out and asking for what you want and going and finding it because you have righteous desires of such things. I think that's important. The other thing I think it's very important to give back to the community and also to pay tithing. So I pay tithing. I think it's very important to give back to the Lord as well as to your community. So I've got a video that'll be coming out on Saturday where we donated a ton of Klondike bars to the homeless population in Huntington Beach. So that's one thing we did to try to help them out, and they were very appreciative. They don't get enough donations of Klondike bars, apparently. And my eyes are a little watery, guys, because I've had allergies. It's kind of nuts. So let me just see what else you guys have in here. So Craig mentions local toy stores, buy the discounted board games. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Legos here for a second, too. Any of you guys have Legos laying around your house that are old, but you still have the box for them? Give me a 1 if you have Legos with boxes still, either opened or unopened. So I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm a big Lego fan, and I have a a pretty good stash of them at my house that used to be up on my desk, and I don't have a setting like that where I have a big desk behind my back with all these shelves anymore. So they're just in boxes sitting there now. And you can download an app from Amazon that allows you to check the SKU of a product and see how much it's selling for on Amazon, and then you can set it up to sell the product. And I'm kind of ramping that back up again to get another income source. My goal is to get 7 of those going. I was up to about 6, and now I'm down to 2, and I want to get back up as close as I can to 7. So I looked at, and I had a Willis Tower Lego architecture set. It's already built. It is used, but I have the box in perfect condition, and it wouldn't be that hard to take the pieces apart and put them in a little Ziploc bag. Anyway, I looked this up to see what could I sell this for, and they're going for about $340 used on Amazon right now. And I think I paid $40 for it. So I started going through the rest of my stuff, and I found I've got a whole set of the Lego Star Wars helmets for the different characters, and I found that my Stormtrooper one, I think I paid about $60, $55 to $60 for each of those. Stormtrooper one's going for about $360. The dark black helmet for the TIE Fighter pilot is going for about $400. All these were paid for about $50. So Lego's another way that you can do it. Now, you can't sell Lego on Amazon unless you can prove that you have purchased 10 products from them on an invoice. So if you guys want to know how to do that, leave a comment down below and I'll do a video on it and teach you guys how to do that. It's pretty easy. But I now have permission to sell on Amazon with my Legos. And there is a method to it. There's a way to do it, but you can get anywhere from about a 20 to a 300% return. And you can make some money from it. Now, it's not on all Legos and it's not all the time. You got to buy them right before they retire. And then you've got to usually wait about 6 months for the price to jump. But it's pretty cool. You can make some money from it. So my wife's kind of happy for me to sell a bunch of stuff and get it out of the house. So that's another side hustle idea that you can do. And a lot of these are great for kids too, if you've got kids that are looking to make some extra money. All right, let's see. We're going to go down the pier here in just a second too. Okay, so Jamie bought dozens of new concrete nailers. Come on, chat. Stay up for me. For 2 cents each, sold them for 50 cents each. That's a sick profit margin. That's awesome. Harry Potter Hogwarts Express from 2001. AquaZone, they sell between 500 and 1,000 for the Harry Potter. That's crazy too. So I like selling stuff to downsize is good, guys. Now, it can work with coins too. It's not going to work with all the coins that we could buy out there, but it is possible to buy coins that have low mintages that tend to do really well. So you've got like your Lunar series from, I think that's the Perth Mint that makes those, but it might be New Zealand Mint, I forget. You've got other coins that are in a series. So I bought a couple of those Queen's Beast 1 ounce gold coins, and I think I paid under the price of a American Gold Eagle, and I was able to sell at least one of them so far. I've got the other one still listed for $28.50, which was a great profit off a coin. So, about $1,000. There's some fees in there too. Metrolink, that's what it's called. But I don't know. There's another one that says Surfrider or something. But there you go. There's a train. So anyway, I have done that, and I've made some good money off the coins. I've got other coins that I purchased that I definitely bought at the top, and they're worth maybe a little bit less than what I paid for them, and I feel a little bit stuck with them. So be careful when you're buying things that have higher premiums. It doesn't mean they're going to go up, and sometimes you make bad decisions on that. But it is possible with gold and silver to buy it right and be able to sell it and make some profit from it. More likely than not, though, people that are doing that have a wholesale license. They have an LLC. And they're buying enough volume that they're able to get, good group discounts. Okay, so we're going to come down over here to the beach. I only see a couple people surfing, but here you go, check that out. Look at that. Wouldn't you guys like to come down here for your daily walk? Wouldn't that be killer? Well, maybe I can bring you down here more often so that you guys can save all the property taxes and income tax. And you can watch me walk down here while I pay all the stuff. All right, what else we got here? Okay, so let me... all right, let me see. We had a good comment come in here. I got to read that real quick. Okay, so Craig mentions the other thing I did was finding broken electronics in LCDs, TVs, fixing those up, and then putting them on Facebook. I think that's pretty good too. Chech Stacker, how's it going? Surfliner, that's it. You guys, I don't know. I don't ride the train that much, so I don't know the name. I try to run away from the train every time it comes on. It's just too loud. So Fisherman's a good restaurant right here if you guys ever come down here. And if you're down here and you don't let me know, I'm going to be upset. So if I see you posting that you were down at the San Clemente Pier and you didn't call Surfer, I'm going to be bummed. And they've got an oyster bar over here on the side. But one of the things that I love about this area is that it still has that very small town feel. And it reminds me of Lahaina, if any of you guys have been following everything going on at Maui. So that's a place that my family and I love to go to. I've been going there since I was probably about 6. And we can't even go to our resort anymore. It's still there, but the whole city's decimated. And there is a lot of crazy stuff being said about that and a lot of weird anomalies going on there. So please keep those people in your prayers. If you can, make some donations. It's definitely something that we've been doing and trying to help with as much as we can, but it's, I don't know, I feel like I need to get out there and visit it again, but they're blocking everything off still. All right, I'm gonna see if I can flip this. I don't know if it'll work. Oh, that's the wrong way, sorry. Go back. Oh, come on. Now my gimbal's broke it. All right, just a second, guys. All right, it's gonna be fixed here. I pressed the wrong button. Let's see if it'll let me flip it here. Okay, so check this out. So you've got a whole lineup of surfers here on the pier. World Surf League is located here. So you can see all these banners they're putting up. Looks like we're gonna be doing a big competition here. So let's see if we can see any of these guys grab a wave here. These waves are not real big today. There you go. All right, sometimes when you're surfing, you're just getting up on the board for a couple seconds and you're getting off so you don't get dragged down. A lot of times you just have crashers like that, so, or breakers, I should say. Down here you can see a lot of people swimming down on this side, so that's kind of fun. All right, so as you're looking at personal finances, I think it's important to continue to pull in more revenue and deal with that. Now, I know that's easier said than done for a lot of us, and we sometimes have hard times. I've had times where I've been laid off before, and I've gone 9 months without steady income, and because I always have side businesses, I did not qualify for any unemployment, even though I've been paying into it forever, and so I had to figure out very creative ways of providing for my family. And I've had other times where I've had a lot of extra money, and I try to store that away. So, you know, be mindful with things. Don't overbuy your gold and silver. I know talking to Yankee doesn't have 100% in gold and silver either, and I think a lot of other channels that you'll see, they also have other kinds of investments as well as reserves and emergency funds. But going back to the house thing, I do think if you can have a paid off house is great. If you can have paid off cars, it's great. Now, you don't have as much money to leverage and grow, but you have that security and you don't have to worry so much about what's happening. We got a drone coming in. All right. Yes, there is a restaurant called Duke's, and it's pretty good over at the Huntington Beach Pier. I like that one a lot. So we got some people that have donated. That's good too, guys. So if you haven't done so already, hit the thumbs up. And if you guys are not subscribers, please hit the subscribe and bell icon. Next Wednesday, I'm trying to figure out the exact time. So if you guys can leave a comment down below, what time Pacific would be best for you to do our live stream next Wednesday. It's going to be my 100,000 view party. It might be my 1,000 subscriber party if I can get another 40 subscribers. And if that's the case, we'll have some more gold at it for some giveaways. But we're gonna have an epic party next Wednesday. I know it's not always the best day for everybody, and I was thinking of starting it at 4 or 5 Pacific, but I'm noticing that I'm getting more people when it's a little bit later. So we may try to do it a little bit later in the night. But I'd like to hear from you guys. If you're on here, you're probably a regular watcher of the channel, so I want to be able to make sure you guys can be on it and it's a time that works for you. So leave that in the comments for me. I am going to be giving away the Drew Brophy signed silver surfboard coin, and depending on how many people we have on there, and if I've hit the 1,000 subscriber, there'll be a lot of other coins and rounds that we're going to throw into the giveaway too. But it's going to be a fun party. I have a guest speaker that should be coming on, or a guest person we're going to interview that I think a lot of you guys will enjoy. And as soon as I have that all confirmed, I'll confirm that with you guys, let you know, and we'll get some thumbnails out and placeholders for that exact time. All right, so I'm out here pretty far on this pier. These things come out like way farther than you would ever surf. So if you can see where the water's kind of white down there, that's where you would surf at. And way out here is where you would fish. So any of you that live by a lake or a river that go fishing, I don't know how to do that very well. I've only done it a little bit. But I do know how to go deep sea fishing, and I know how to fish off a pier like this. And it's pretty fun. We have a lot of great whites around here. So you hope you don't see them while you're surfing. But we also have a lot of sea bass and barracuda, a lot of leopard sharks. Those actually taste really good, but I don't recommend eating them very often. We need the sharks in the ecosystem. And then there's sheephead and a whole bunch of other kind of fish out this way. But today you cannot see Catalina Island. A lot of times it's very hazy out here. It's not necessarily pollution. It's just, I guess, a thicker marine layer of clouds that comes in. So right off the edge of this pier behind me is where you would see Catalina Island. And it's not that far, but you can't see it at all right now. So that's kind of gone. A lot of people come down here to come fishing. All they have to have is a license to fish, and they can catch as many fish as they want, and it's free. It's free food. So you get a lot of different people down here. You can have some great conversations at the pier. They just opened up I guess a little restaurant thing here at the end, and you can also get a fishing rod and probably some bait there too. So that's kind of cool, little trinkets and stuff too. All right, so I walked a really far way from where I drove, where I parked my car. I guess if you guys are still hanging on, we'll go on a walk together here. This will be good for me to get out. One of the reasons I started this channel was to get myself out of the house. I feel like I'm in the house all the time, and I really wanted to get a little bit more exercise and out in the sun and make some vitamin D in my skin and all that kind of good stuff. So how about you guys? Do any of you like to go out and do any recreational things? Do any of you guys go fishing? Do any of you surf? I don't know if you guys wakeboard. I'm also a big skier. I like to go snow skiing. I tried snowboarding a few times and it just about killed me. I was on a really bad day trying to do it with a lot of ice. And I just about put myself in the hospital from landing on my back too many times. So I wouldn't say that, at least in my experience, snowboarding is exactly like surfing, but there are some similarities to it to a degree. But I think skateboarding is probably a lot more like surfing than even snowboarding is. But you got to go on a good day, right? So if you're trying to learn how to surf and there's no waves, it doesn't work. If you're trying to learn how to snowboard on an icy day, it sucks. Don't do that. All right, let's see what you guys have down here to say. Oh, a few things about gold prospecting, metal detecting. Okay, let's talk about that too. Hey, Randy, welcome. Yeah, I think, fly fishing would be pretty fun. I've never done that. I think that's pretty darn fun. Anything with a fin or any time is fine. Okay. Yeah, that's a good fishing pier, guys. Oh, training for running a half a marathon. Oh my goodness. Bless your heart. Best of luck with that. That is not something I desire to do. I like going to run for 3 miles. That feels pretty good to me. Maybe even 5 miles, but to go do a marathon, I don't think I could do that very well. I get too bored. I'd have to have some really good music going or something. But I do think it's good to get out and get exercise. It keeps everything moving. Hey, thanks guys. Yeah, hit that like button, let people know what we're doing here. So let's talk real quick about 2 different things that I have interest in that I don't know enough about yet, but I'm really interested to make some videos on and do some stuff. So 2 of them is, one is gold panning, and the second one is metal detecting. So as you get your personal finances in line, you can start to buy things that I call toys, like drones, metal detectors. These things can be fun to use, and they can also start to make you another side hustle too. So I know when I was in Hawaii last, I was actually in Maui, in Lahaina, in January, and I ran into a person there that had a metal detector, and they find rings at the beach all the time. And they have a little website where they actually put the rings on, and they ask people to come and claim them, but they always ask for, like, what's the inscription inside of the ring, and what's the size of the ring, things like that, to try to verify it. And one of the things I've had an interest in with the metal detector is I have lost 5 rings right here in that water. Now they've all been like tungsten rings. I stopped wearing silver rings when I go surfing a long time ago. So I got rings like this. And they run like 30 bucks at Amazon, or if you get a little nicer one from a store, maybe 100 bucks. But there's a lot of rings in that sand. And I guarantee you there's diamonds in there too, and there's gold. So I would love to go down there and find things, one, to help other people, but if someone doesn't claim it, it's also kind of a cool treasure to find. I doubt we'd find a lot of coins out here, but we might. I've lost a few silver dimes over there, asking people how much a dime of silver is worth. A few of them have fallen in the sand, and I couldn't find them. So I'd imagine there's some 1964 and older coins laying around. I don't know that we'd see anything super old like you see on the East Coast, but I do have an interest in that. So if you guys have some metal detectors that you think are good to get, definitely leave a comment in the comment section there. And if you do it, let me know. I'd love to talk to you offline and get some tips and also some ideas for maybe doing a future video. I think it'd be fun. Then let's talk about gold panning and prospecting. So we have had a fair amount of rains this year, and we've had a lot of forest fires. Okay, guys, look at this. I don't know if you can see that. She walked by. That is a mud pie, and it is a massive, tall mocha ice cream with hot fudge drizzled on it, and a layer of thick fudge on the top, and whipped cream and a cherry on top. And they also have a peanut butter version of it too. So if I wasn't trying to drop a couple pounds, I might stop in and get one of those, but not right now. So as far as gold panning goes, the only gold panning I've ever really done was on a scout trip once, as a Boy Scout, and then also at Knott's Berry Farm. So one of our amusement parks here. I think it's actually the oldest amusement park in the country, if I remember correctly. They have a little old western town area, and there you can pay $20 and you can pan for some gold, and you get a little vial. So you maybe have seen those on my channel. That's where that came from. My son and I did it. It was pretty fun. We actually enjoyed it. And what I'll tell you is you get just a few flakes. So you're paying about $20 for probably about $1 to $2 worth of gold there. But it was pretty fun to do it. And yes, there was a lot of gold in their sand already, and they make sure that it's kind of spread out enough. And if you don't get enough flakes, they'll throw a little bit more of the richer pay dirt in there. But I have some interest in doing that, and I've been thinking about putting together a group of people, or at least going on a little expedition myself and filming that. So one of these days, maybe I'll get around to doing that, but I'm hearing it might be better in the spring than it is right now. But I don't know, we'll find out. Here's the train again. This thing comes around quite a bit. It's loud. All right, so that's a loud train, guys. I'm gonna hold this with my other arm. Hopefully this works out okay, because this arm's like almost dead now. But there's the pier that we were just on. So, I don't know. I think it'd be fun to go panning for gold, and I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. I've seen a few channels on YouTube that are doing really well. That's all they do is they go out and pan for gold. And I was kind of intrigued by it. So you guys let me know. Would you like to see a video on that? See Sufer panning for gold somewhere? All right, so I think that's pretty fun. I do have a DJI drone, and I am planning on bringing that down to the beach this weekend and getting some really cool drone footage of the beach to share with you guys, and then I need to see if I can dig up my old stuff too. So I always think the drone footage is kind of fun, put it to some nice music. And anyway, that'll be good too. All right, I'm gonna stop for a second to see if there's any other comments here that I need to address from you guys real quick. The train sounded like death. Uh-oh. Run, guys. What's up, SPB? Thanks for stopping by. Uh-oh. I don't know why I did that. Sorry, guys. The gimbal just crapped out for a second. Hey, Mark, thanks for stopping by. The best time to go metal detecting is after a hurricane. Well, I don't know. The one we were supposed to have didn't really turn out too much. So I have tried the intermittent fasting concept, and I kind of do that during the week a few times. It's not every day. But I do find my hunger kind of goes away after a while doing that, and I do think it helps your body kind of reset with stuff, which is good too. So I went on a cruise at the beginning of June, went out to Disney World and then a cruise, and I enjoyed the cruise so much I gained like 10 pounds, and I'm not a very tall dude. So I'm only 6'7", sorry, 5'7". I am not 6'7". I'm only 5'7", and gaining 10 pounds for me is kind of significant. I had to like go get different shorts and stuff. So for me, I've been able to get that 10 pounds almost off again. It's taken this long. I do like treats, and they have too many treats on those cruises. And I try to eat healthy, but when you got all this food and it's all good and it's yummy stuff, it is hard. So intermittent fasting has been something that's helped me take off about the 10 pounds, and then I want to get down a few more pounds and just get a little bit more lean. And I've got 3 kids, daughters that are 17 and a son that's 20, and they're making fun of me the other day, and they said they've never seen a six-pack on their dad. So I think I'm gonna have to take them up on a challenge and try to see if I can get a 6-pack here. I think that's gonna take some more work though. But I thought it was kind of funny. They're giving me some trash talk about that. They said I have a 1-pack. That didn't sound very good. How many of you guys have 1-packs? Oh man, I don't know. A 2-pack might be interesting. I don't know what that is. It's kind of like 2 layers of blubber. But anyway, I think it's good to get fit. I think it's good to get outside. I'm not a gym rat. I don't just hang out at the gym and do that stuff. I used to do more of that as a kid, and when I was in my 20s and even my 30s. But in my 40s, I don't know. Your knee starts breaking, your shoulder starts breaking. For me, it's more taking it calm. So I don't run as much, but I do try to walk as much as I can. And my goal is to get a couple miles in every day. And that tends to keep things good. And the last thing I'll just throw out as far as diet goes, pop is like the worst thing you can eat or drink. You know, you're drinking a lot of calories, it doesn't fill you up, has a ton of sugar in it. Carbonation leaches calcium in your bones. Stuff is good though. But I find if I can eliminate that out of my diet completely, that tends to make a huge difference. So if any of you guys are struggling with wanting to drop a few pounds, I find you can drop anywhere from like 5 to 8 pounds pretty fast just by cutting soda out of your diet. And maybe you call it pop, I don't know. Out here I'd call it soda. That keg. Okay, so Craig cut sugar and carbs out of his life and saw a huge improvement, so that's good. Insulated six-pack. Yeah, I got an insulated six-pack. I can feel it if I like really push hard. Well, kids will either keep you younger or they'll help you age quickly. It's one of the two. It's not no middle ground with kiddos. The best thing about having a family and kids, though, if you can do it, is you got built-in friends, okay, for the most part. Not always. Some of us end up in divorce, which sucks. Sometimes it's for a good reason. Other times it's just the situation is no good. But ideally, if we can have a spouse and we can have some kids, you'll end up having people that'll be there to take care of you as you get older, and you'll have grandkids and other things like that. It's not always in the card for all of us, unfortunately, and it's not always smooth. Two of my siblings have been divorced, and they're both remarried, but it causes a lot of dynamic issues with the family, and you know, it's complicated. But overall, I think it's important to have your, what I'll call, what is the term I like to use? It's not clan. Oh my gosh, I can't even think. It'll come to me in a second. But it's good to have a clan of people around you, whether you're married to them, whether they're your kids, whether they're your siblings or close friends. It's important to have that friendship with you as much as you can. And even more importantly, I think when you're doing something like gold and silver stacking, is it's important to have, I don't know, I can't remember the word I was going to say. It's not posse, but it's good to have a group of people that think like you. And I think this has been one of the things I've really enjoyed about YouTube is for the 2 years I've been hanging out on YouTube, I've made a lot of friends and people I can bounce ideas off of, that I can ask for help, I can get advice from. And you know, overall, it's been a really good experience for me. And I hope I'm helping you guys, and I hope I'm making a difference for you too. And I guess maybe community, that's not the word I was thinking, but community is really what it comes down to. You got to have your people, you got to have your community. And I think this is one that's pretty cool. That's one of the reasons I decided to do a channel on this, is I felt like there's a pretty tight, good community of people that support each other. And I had both Stormy and Yankee really encouraging me to get this started and put it out there. And I never thought I'd be a dude walking around with this stupid selfie stick at the beach talking to myself as far as everybody else is concerned. They don't see you on here. They see me, so it looks like I'm just talking to myself. I never thought I'd be doing that in a million years. But I have to tell you, I'm not embarrassed. This doesn't embarrass me to do this out here. I don't feel stupid doing it. And I've even run into neighbors before where they're like, what is this guy doing? And they just wave hi and run along and do their thing. But I have to tell you, it's kind of therapeutic having a channel and talking and doing things. It's almost like you guys are my counselor and I get to share thoughts. So for any of you that are contemplating, should I start a channel? Do I want to do it? Is it good to do? I think it's worth it. I've enjoyed doing it. My wife has told me I'm doing it a little bit too much. So if you've noticed, I've pulled back in the last 2 weeks on my shorts. I'm not putting out like 2 shorts every day. I'm also not putting the video out every day or every other day. And so I'm scaling back just a little bit to make sure I've got that good work-life balance going. And I'm trying to get out 1 to 2 videos a week. and then a couple shorts that are probably mostly related to those videos is what I'm starting to do. Last, I've been doing some of these live streams when I've got a pocket of time where I can either do this while I'm working out. This is basically, I've just walked, I don't know, several miles. I think I've probably walked 4 miles here, maybe 3 to 4 miles. If I was going to do that anyway, might as well bring you guys for the ride. All right, let's see what you got. I'm ranting now, so. You do need a community of like-minded people.
And then I will not have a job.
So John's got a mess of a body. Yeah, guys, it does happen. Circle of trust. Sorry to hear the body, though. I kind of know what it feels like a little bit. I've got a lot of pain and stuff. So another thing I'll kind of throw out, too. And so John, thank you for your service as well. My family has a lot of autoimmune diseases. So if any of you guys have autoimmune diseases, you probably know what it's like. We tend to have a lot of stuff that a normal doctor has no idea about, and so we have to go to specialists. And right now, my family, we spend about $1,000 in addition to my insurance premium that comes out of my paycheck and whatever insurance covers. We still pay about an extra $1,000 a month. Sometimes it's $1,500 more a month on services that do not get covered because they're not seen as important, even though they make a huge difference in our quality of life. And one of these days, I'll probably share with you when I put some more stuff together about that. But it's a lot of stuff we have to deal with, and it's just a pain because it just adds a lot of cost and other issues. So I'll give you one of the issues I've got is I have a lot of gluten intolerance. So I can't eat bread. Gluten-free bread is not even worth eating for the most part. You gotta be pretty hungry. But I have to deal with that, and so a lot of times I can get like a gluten-free bun somewhere, or I have to get my food always adjusted. I always have to ask about it. It's a pain, and it basically adds like another 10%, 15% to the cost of anything you eat out. So that's kind of a pain. But my knowledge is so great. I know more about autoimmune stuff than just about any doctor that goes out of grad school and has been practicing. All right. What else what are you guys chatting about? Oh, red dye. I cut out red dye out of my diet a long time ago. I'm also ADHD, if you guys haven't noticed. If you have any ADHD, ADD stuff, no red dye for you ever again. Not good. That especially red 40, that stuff's like poison. They don't even allow it in Europe in the food. So in general, I would say this is personal stuff for me, but I stay away from food dyes as much as I can. I don't think any of the food dyes are great for you. They're all petrochemicals from oil. And in general, a lot of the food we have and a lot of the products we use on our skin are petrochemicals, and it's probably why we have a lot of allergies is you're putting something foreign in there that you really shouldn't. So the other thing I'll point out, between the pier and where I'm at, there's not a lot of surfing that goes on until you get down here. There's no way to really access. It's just this bridge that we've been on for a while. So you don't see a lot of surfers down there, but I can see a few that are out here. The waves are not great right now. They're about, if you're lucky, there's a 1 foot wave out here. They're pretty small right now. We did have a pretty good swell and some decent waves that were up to about 3 or 4 feet here earlier in the week. I don't know, I'm running out of things to say right now. So I think I just have like another 5 minutes that I can chat with you guys here real quick. So let's see what else we got on here. So yeah, I think cooking your own food's the best, guys. You'll also notice if you're having any issues with weight control, if you're eating out, you really don't know exactly what you're eating. Yes, places like California make them put everything on the label, but a lot of places use a lot more butter than they should be. A lot of places use a lot of seed oils. They also use lard and other things like that. And then it's also the sheer amount of calories. You also tend to eat a lot more when you're out and having a good time and talking to people. So one of the things I definitely recommend is if you're trying to lose some weight, cut out eating out very much, and you know, pull it home. Find some good recipes of food that you'll eat that is mostly wholesome. And the best rule of thumb I can give you is don't be buying or eating things out of a box. If it's in a box, it's processed. It's lost some of its nutrition, if not most of it. And it tends to also spike things like insulin and blood sugar levels and things like that too. So you're usually a lot better off just trying to stick with more whole foods, natural foods. So that can also include meat. You know, my kids and I will eat at Chick-fil-A every once in a while and other places like that, but I saw a video where someone was talking about like 30 ingredients in the chicken. There should be one ingredient that should be just chicken. If there's 30 ingredients in the Chick-fil-A chicken, I cannot confirm or deny that, but I want to go check it out now. If there's a lot of ingredients in that, then there's a lot of preservatives and other things that you have to watch out. Doesn't mean you can't eat it and it's going to kill you instantly, but probably don't want to be eating that stuff all the time. But if you're getting chicken from a family farm and they really only have one ingredient, that's going to be a lot better for you than chicken that has preservatives and other flavorings and stuff like that on it. All right, what else we got here? I think we're almost done here, because I'm about to back to my car. All right, that's last thing I'm going to end this with today, guys, is backyard chickens. All right, it's really difficult to have backyard chickens in California, but I've done it in Utah and I loved it. We used to have, I called them my ladies, and we had backyard chickens, and I know we had some Rhode Island Reds, and I forget what the other ones were called, but they loved me. I was the guy that came out and fed them. And I had to, you know, we would get snow in Utah, so I had to figure out how to keep their water from freezing, and they kept us down from having voles. They're like little mice. They'd eat those guys up, and we get fresh eggs every day. Backyard chickens are really awesome. So if you guys have the ability to do backyard chickens, I think it's worth it. We enjoyed it. The farm fresh eggs were way tastier than anything at the store. And you get to see what you feed the chickens. One of the best things for them was, you know, garden scraps. So if we had a salad and we had some leftover stuff, or the kids didn't eat everything, we'd take it out to the chickens and they'd eat that. I don't know, it's pretty fun. We actually really enjoyed that a lot. All right, well, I'm going to sign off for now. Hopefully this was a helpful video for you guys and you had fun chatting with each other and listening to me ramble as I walked. But thank you for joining me. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. I do have some, hoping to drop a video tomorrow, but it might be Saturday. So I'm hoping for one Friday and Saturday because I've got some great stuff that just got filmed I want to get out. So as soon as those are ready and edited, those will go out. And if you guys can help me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark by Wednesday, we're going to have an epic party. If not, we'll still have a good party. It just won't be epic. Let's make it epic. So until next time, peace out, and thank you for stopping by. See you guys.